It's the month of February, and as the days get longer, the season gets shorter and shorter. As we inch closer to the boys' sectional draw on February 21st, every game matters as well. Games like this one tonight, as we have number 15 Cougars of Greenwood Christian Academy playing host to the Griffins of Indianapolis International. With my broadcast partner, Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling. And Jarrett, Pioneer Conference basketball here tonight at GCA as the Cougars look to go 3-0 in conference play this season.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good teams in this Pioneer Conference as well. Greenwood Christian coming in with a pretty decent record. They're 9-5 in this one. There are 4 other teams that are above 500. So Greenwood Christian is set to play their 3rd conference game of the season, while International, on the other hand, they've been pretty unlucky with how their scheduling has gone. One, they only have played 9 games this season, as to the Cougars, who have gotten 14 down on their schedule. And this is the first conference game for International as well. So a pretty important one for them. The conference is still wide open. They'll have their conference championship tournament in about 2 weeks or so. So, this is a pretty good tune-up for both teams to kind of see where they are. Greenwood Christian right now 2-0 in conference play, looking to go 3-0 on their home court.
Greenwood Christian Academy also coming off of 4 straight wins, those being against Providence, Cristo Rey, Oldenburg Academy, Central Christian, and Victory College Prep, and they have won 6 of their last 7 games after starting the season a measly 3-5.
And of those 4 games that they have last won on their 4-game run streak, the closest game was a 5-point victory over Oldenburg Academy. So a lot of these games, they're playing pretty solid defense. They're scoring the basketball. They're averaging almost 60 points a game. And ever since that tough loss in the county tournament to Greenwood, which is a 4A school, you're playing up. It's never a bad thing to play up as far as competition is concerned. They have run off 4 straight wins, and after that tournament, they actually had 2 games postponed, so both teams have kind of had to deal with some scheduling issues, obviously COVID getting in the way in some instances, but on this 4-game win streak, and now it's a good way to try and go 5-0 is you bring in a conference opponent in International, who's a pretty solid squad and a team that Greenwood Christian shouldn't overlook by any means.
And you talk about this International squad, and you hit the nail on the head right out of the gate there. The fact that they have a measly record, not because of the fact that they're not any good or any bad, but basically, bottom line is they have been so unlucky because of the COVID-19 pandemic. They have had 5 or 6 games that have been postponed or have been canceled, so they've only been able to play 9 games, and that definitely can mess with a team's mojo and getting into a rhythm going into the latter part of the season.
Yeah, here's one way to look at it. Their season was supposed to start December 5th, and then after that, so they had that 1 game postponed against Tri-West, and then the 2 games after that were also postponed, and those were supposed to be conference games. So you would have loved to start the season playing conference opponents, teams that you're pretty familiar with, teams that you are traditionally going to play. But you get those 3 games that get postponed, and now so over a 2-month span, you've only played 9 games. So, kind of one way to think about it, I guess in one way they've had a lot of preparation for some of these games that they're going to end up playing, but then again, this is still, you continue, you just play on. You forget about it. You just try to focus at the task at hand and try to go after your first conference win.
That's definitely the mentality this season. In a COVID world, you just play every game as they come. The Griffins of International School of Indianapolis coming into this contest 4-5 on the season. Greenwood Christian Academy, number 15 in the Class 1A ranks. They are 9-5, having won 4 straight and having won 6 of their last 7 games. They are 2-0 in conference play. Of course, Greenwood Christian Academy coming in last season after they had probably a pretty good claim to the state championship in Class 1A. They were a really solid squad last year. They won a sectional title, as did International School. They won their first sectional title in school history after going 12-9 last season, and they were able to claim to their first sectional championship in school history last season. We'll continue to break down the teams and get more familiar with each player from each team here coming up next after a quick timeout. You're watching IHSAA basketball on IndianaSRN.
Someone who couldn't make it to the game today.
What's the number one misconception you think about Freemasonry? Well, I think most people just think of Freemasonry as some kind of secret society, and you go with some of the rumors out there and so on, and they really don't understand who we are. They don't understand that we are a fraternity of brothers first, and our obligation is to take care of each other and our widows and orphans, etc. within our group. They don't understand what the fraternity part of Freemasonry really is, and that's the misconception that's out there. I think first and foremost of anyone that wants to join Freemasonry, I'd like them to know that it's really not a secret society. You may say it's a society with a secret because we have some handshakes and some passwords that you could easily find down in a library if you get the right book. Freemasonry is more, it's a brotherhood, it's a fraternity, it's a way of sharing common thoughts and everything with people of all different vocations that really understand of getting together on the level. Whether you're a judge or a police officer or a janitor, you're all on the same level when you're in a Masonic lodge room. And I think that's one of the greatest things, that you can sit with people of all vocations, but you have that certain thing in common, that you're all brothers.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on IndianaSRN. If you would like to know more information about IndianaSRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Officially Human. Our foundational goal is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the courts, and on the fields, and in courts as well. You can check out the website at officiallyhuman.com. With my broadcast partner, Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling, getting introduced to the starting lineups for tonight's contest here for both teams. International School, headed up by head coach Scott Adams, who is 22-9 in his third year as the head coach of the Griffins. He is 68-92 overall in his 8th year as a head coach in the IHSAA ranks. And now you get a look at the Cougars of Greenwood Christian Academy under the tutelage of Johnny Marlin in his 4th year as the head coach of this program. He is 62-27. Really quite an accomplishment to win 62 games in your first 4 years as the head coach of a pretty stout program here for the Cougars.
Yeah, pretty good mark there for Johnny Marlin in 4 years. On both sides, boys and girls basketball at GCA, two very accomplished coaches. Alan Weems coaching the girls. They have a really solid a group of girls over there that are probably going to make some noise in their sectional, and maybe after that trying to go after a state championship. But here, Johnny Marlin, pretty good record himself in his 4th year, and on senior night, hopefully he's got his guys ready to go, trying to get this conference victory.
And of course, a conference game here tonight in Pioneer Conference action. The first conference game of the season for International School. They have had all of their previous regular season conference matchups canceled or postponed, so their only real test this is their first real taste of conference basketball in the regular season this season, outside of the Pioneer Conference playoffs, which will be taking place here in just a few weeks' time, just before Valentine's Day on February 13th. So here we go from Greenwood Christian Academy. You have Stiles McCorkle facing off with Oscar Horn at center court. And we are just about ready to go here for Pioneer Conference basketball action, and the tip is controlled by International School. We're underway here at Greenwood Christian Academy. International School not wasting any time, going right to the basket there by Jameyer Jackson. And right there for the putback, though, there for Christian for International is Javier Turlobel. But outside, you get McCorkle, and he does that game in and game out, shooting 50% from the field.
And how about the rest of the starting 5? It's not the typical starting 5, but you're getting all seniors out there. Caden Thompson getting the start, as well as his brother.
Of course, it is senior night here at Greenwood Christian Academy. You tuned in earlier. You watched the festivities where they honored both the girls and the boys basketball teams this season, as you see this three-pointer set it up by McCorkle.
Nice pass up top coming from Stinnett.
And Stiles McCorkle, an IBCA small school underclass honorable mention last year when he was a junior. Outside, 3 on the way, and a big shot there from Evan Stinnett.
Looks like the three-point shooting is pretty spectacular for GCA, and right off the bat, they're knocking them down.
And pulling it up right there is Jaden Thomas, the 6'4 senior for International School. It gets tipped out of bounds, and it will stay with Greenwood Christian Academy here.
How about the basketball going towards GCA, and the whole bench of GCA standing up and clapping, getting into it just like they are here. Another 3 goes down for Stinnett.
And that actually looked like Caden Thompson who knocked that one down. And so you have 3 3-pointers in a row by Greenwood Christian Academy to start things off. And right underneath there, unable to connect for International School. And the rebound doesn't fall there.
International might want to think about hedging out on those shooters a little bit better, making those shots a little more difficult.
Shot doesn't fall for International School on the other side, and it goes out of bounds. And it will stay with Greenwood Christian Academy as we take a look at this 3-ball here.
It's just good recognition by Stinnett and the guys on International. Failure to pick up the shooters, failure to pick up anybody at all. A lot of them kind of, waltzing back on the other end of the floor with their heads down. They're not focused, and a proper timeout, I suppose, from Scott Adams trying to get his guys focused in this first quarter.
And so now it looks like give that point to Camden Thompson. Of course, Caden and Camden Thompson wearing 13 and 23. Their jerseys and their persons look pretty identical there as you see those two brothers playing some excellent ball so far here for Greenwood Christian Academy.
Yeah, just one letter and one number separate those two, 13 and 23.
And so now International School just having to calm things down a little bit here as we tick inside of just over 2 minutes expired here in this first quarter. McCorkle holding it up top here. And International ramping up the pressure up top. But there's Thompson, who hits his second 3 of the ball game.
I'm not sure why International is having Jeremiah Pickens try to hedge out at that player on the top of the key. Much smaller player. He should be playing well down low in the lane like he is here.
Pickens down low. He finally gets that shot to fall for his first points of the ball game.
So International, they need to do a better job of figuring out this zone defense. As quick travel called against Camden Thompson. But watch this. Yeah, big old Pickens down low has to hedge out. I'm not sure who in the top of that zone for International is supposed to be there picking up the guy in the top of the 2-3 zone, but it didn't look like they were set up properly.
Jameer Jackson has yet to get into the scorers column. And there's a nifty play inside there to Pickens in stride, but Pickens is unable to finish. Thompson right down the lane again, tries to get the reverse to go, and nothing doing there. So GCA, they can't score inside the arc, but they're able to knock it down at will from outside the arc.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I suppose they just...
And right to the basket there goes Jaden Thomas.
Yeah, they're shooting the ball well from downtown, and Styles elects for one.
And McCorkle unable to finish there on that one. He has 3 points, though, on his previous 3-point shot that went down earlier in the quarter. Pickens goes one-on-one spin move along the baseline and can't get that turnaround jumper to fall. McCorkle right down the side of the lane and able to connect.
Oh, so impressive with the basketball. Such a tall, lengthy body is McCorkle. It's quite the advantage. Coach Marlin appreciates that. Him able to spread the floor out, but also do things on his own with the dribble.
And the floater off of the bank goes down there for Thomas again. He has a quick 4 points for International, and that cuts it to an 8-point ball game. Halfway through this first quarter, as Shoemaker looks long over to McCorkle again, and from just inside the arc, he's a little strong. Long pass outside to Thomas. He loads up a 3 of his own, and that's a little strong. And a foul down low. They're going to call called into the rafters there. Take a look at Thomas going right down the lane.
A nice job using that screen from Pickens. Not good enough help side defense from GCA to prevent him from getting to the rack. That looks like that's his game. Thomas, extremely athletic, and he's going to be good off the dribble, good off of screens.
McCorkle gets it outside to Shoemaker. Up top, 3 on the way. Off the front of the iron from Stinnett. Doesn't fall.
Cougars are getting really good looks from downtown, and about half of them have gone down, but you got to keep shooting those. You give them enough space, you better put them up.
Pickens gets a little physical on Isaiah Davis there, unable to connect that shot. And nearly a turnover forced there by Michelle Barrentes, but it's tipped out of bounds. It's GCA ball.
NBA game, that's probably a foul on Pickens with the elbow. Davis tried to sell it the best he could.
And Isaiah Davis, the 6'9" junior, into the ball game now, averaging 13 points a contest. And a nifty shot there from Zane Shoemaker. That is now 5 3-pointers made by this GCA squad in this first quarter. And blocked from behind there is Jameer Jackson. And quick in transition, Stinnett into the corner. 3 on the way from McCorkle. And that's off the side of the iron, but a foul away from the ball, going for the rebound. And we'll see who they get the foul on here.
How about the sequence there from Zane Shoemaker? He's only shooting 25% from downtown. But International decides not to hedge out. Looked like Jackson wasn't sure where he was supposed to go. He went to the guy in the corner instead, and that left plenty of room for Shoemaker to put it through.
So first foul of the ball game here by International, and by either team for that matter, as it's now a 9-point ball game. And there's a big shot there from Michelle Barrentes. First 3 ball to connect there for International.
Really confident looking shot. That's the first time we've called his name, and one of the first times Barrentes has touched the basketball, and he makes the most of it.
Off the screen from Davis, he's double-teamed, trying a pick and roll. The ball ends up in the hands of McCorkle, who makes something out of nothing.
How about that? The basketball is just going the way of Greenwood Christian. Initially, it was a really good trap set up between Thomas and Jackson.
Long 3 doesn't fall there for Thomas. Offensive rebound gets put back there by Phillip Randolph.
One of the smallest guys on the floor, Randolph, able to keep the play alive, put it back in.
The 6-foot freshman Randolph. McCorkle goes right in on Randolph, and they're going to get him for an offensive foul. He lowered his shoulder.
Easy call there for the officials. Nice job stepping over and taking that charge. A much bigger body is McCorkle, knocking down Randolph.
So 75 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. And International School has been able to keep things relatively manageable here in spite of the shooting onslaught from behind the arc of Greenwood Christian Academy. And there is a good backdoor cut right down the middle of the lane to Javier Turlobel.
Real good passing there from the Griffins in the corner. Jackson gets it. His defender closes out on him hard, so he beats him baseline with the dribble. And it's a beautiful cut from the top of the key from LaBelle.
Inside a minute now, Davis on the elbow, looking inside to McCorkle. He can't handle it. They're going to say he stepped on the baseline, and it will be GCA ball. Let's take a look at this again.
Yeah, Stinnett has to close out hard, and LaBelle realizes that that lane is wide open, and Jackson's going to be in trouble, so he makes it easy for him and gets him the assist.
And McCorkle, off of the quick inbound, is able to just volley it right into the net. So now International School has a chance to possibly hold for a final shot situation here. Instead, you're going to have Jackson barreling right into the lane, and he draws a foul. There's going to be a blocking foul on GCA.
Thought initially they might tag Jackson with the travel, but there was a whole lot of contact there, and he was trying to go through about 2 or 3 different defenders from GCA.
And so you're going to get Blake Shoemaker with that foul, his first and GCA's second of the ball game. Inbound is to Jackson. He tries to drive the baseline. Nifty no-look pass outside. And a good jump shot there again by Javier Turlobel. He seems to be in the right place at the right time over the last 10 seconds.
How about the connection with Jackson and LaBelle? Jackson drives, and LaBelle's there for the pass.
Stinnett tries a drive of his own as time is close to expiring, and he mishandles it. It goes out of bounds, and it's international basketball. And the shot from half court almost goes in, but Jaden Thomas's shot rims right out. The first quarter brought to you by the Morales Group. We'll be back in a minute on Indiana SRN. Alley Cat Gymnastics, a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast. Do you have a child attending a daycare or a preschool in the greater Indianapolis area? Are they interested in gymnastics or Ninja Warrior classes? Just give them a call at 317-820-9484 or go to www.alleycatgymnastics.com. With Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling, and Greenwood Christian Academy, number 15 in 1A. They're got their hands full a little bit here with Indianapolis International.
Yeah, the shooting from GCA has been hot, and one of those guys has been McCorkle, who had 10 points in that first quarter, but they've been able to answer on their offensive end as well.
Right on the other side, and a good shot there by Jaden Thomas to at least take advantage. It seems International taking the approach of running and getting back quicker than GCA out of the gate here.
Thomas has so much speed, he almost goes too fast and loses the basketball. Good defense here from Jackson.
And there's a steal for Jackson, and he will bring it back on the other side where they will set up the offense. And Javier Turlobel had a stellar first quarter, 6 points. As Jackson, with some nifty ball handling, gets around the corner and gets the shot to fall. A quick 4-0 run here by International, and they cut it to a 1-point ball game.
And Jackson now, he gets into the box score. Previously, he was dishing out assists to his teammates.
And left wide open there, though, is Zane Shoemaker. He misses that shot. And again, another shot doesn't fall there for Javier Turlobel. And it's a loose ball. And again, fielded by International. Jackson right down the lane, blocked by Isaiah Davis.
Oh, Davis.
But then he passes it right into the arms of Barantes.
Davis tried to get nifty with it. McCorkle wasn't ready for that pass.
So International School able to cut things down to a 1-point ball game. They've trailed by as many as 10 points. And there's an offensive foul. They're going to get Jackson, as he asks for some quick clarification there from the official as they walk back to the other side.
Real nice strong take by Jackson. He's been able to recognize the guy on him. He thinks he's able to beat them off the dribble. And now twice, back-to-back possessions now, he's been able to do just that, but a good charge taken by GCA.
So a lot of pieces for this International squad back from last year's team who won their first sectional championship in school history. And this is an International school who first started playing organized basketball back in 2005, their first year of IHSAA affiliation.
4 seniors in the starting lineup for International, and Jackson with the basketball now, and the lone non-senior.
And he has it up top to Thomas, who's having a pretty stellar game so far for the Griffins. That shot, though, does not fall, but right there, right place at the right time again, is Javier Turlobel. He has 8 points to lead the Griffins.
It looked like the basketball was bouncing in the way of GC in that first quarter. A lucky bounce there for International. If it doesn't take that second bounce on the backboard, GCA is going to be able to get that board.
And a nifty play there by Cage McCorkle, the younger sophomore, able to fake out the defender and drive the lane.
Nice burst of speed there from McCorkle.
Both McCorkle brothers playing on the floor. Of course, they are the younger brothers of Champ McCorkle, who was a stellar player for this GCA squad a year ago. Up top, 3 on the way. Knocking it down there is Michelle Barantes.
Barantes has such a good-looking, smooth stroke from downtown. That's the second one he's knocked in.
Trying to answer is Cage McCorkle. That rattles in and out. And it is a 2-point lead for International School after they had trailed by as many as 10 points in the first quarter.
GCA scoring at will, but International has been able to answer. They're on a little bit of a run.
No-look bounce pass to LaBelle, and he draws a blocking foul going right to the rack.
Well, the 5 guys on the floor for the Griffins they're just playing so well together as a team. There's some driving, there's some kicking, there's some picks and rolls between guys like Pickens setting the screens for either Jackson or Thomas, and then Barantes is cutting towards the basketball, catching and shooting, knocking down some threes, and LaBelle, who has 8 points now, first trip to the free throw line for the Griffins.
And LaBelle able to knock down the first of 2 free throws here. This is the first trip to the foul stripe for either team here this evening. And that's now 9 points for Javier LaBelle. Taking his time is LaBelle, and he is able to front end that shot there and goes 1 for 2. 4.5 minutes left here in this first half. And now there's a holding foul there. It appears on Indianapolis International. And indeed it is. You get Jaden Thomas getting his first.
Davis is really a towering player. As you can see him, Thomas is trying to keep his hands full. They could put the bigger Pickens on him, but the size difference is quite different. I'm sure Coach Adams is thinking that Thomas is their best defender, and he's able to control a much bigger body.
There's Jaden Thomas, a lanky 6'4" senior for this Griffins squad, and the whistle blown there before the shot goes away there from Thompson. And again, another foul on International.
And not only do you have Davis at 6'9", but you got Styles McCorkle to worry about too, who's at 6'4". He looks taller than 6'4" from our angle.
And there is a no-look cut right there by Cage McCorkle.
Brother to brother. How about the sets of brothers on this team? We got 2 Shoemakers, 2 McCorkles, and 2 Thompsons.
Family work makes it work for many schools such as GCA. Jalen Thompson unable to get that shot to fall. And just some sloppy ball handling here by GCA, but McCorkle able to feed it back outside. Corner 3 doesn't fall for Stinnett, and the rebound into the hands of Michelle Barantes.
Boy, GCA, they may be out of sorts during some times, but they don't slow down. They are full speed ahead. They're moving the basketball around at a quick pace.
Right down the lane goes Jameer Jackson, and he draws the and 1 foul.
He's just been so good with the basketball. I mean, he's got it wherever he's at. He's going to be his guy off the dribble. He's going to look to dish out those assists, but he's also taking it tough to the rim, drawing the foul, chance of three-point play.
Well, and that seems to be the theme right now here for the attack of Indianapolis International. You know, they were down 10 points earlier in the first quarter, but they really have not been afraid to be physical down low, and it's paid off for them.
Now, this team's going to score. They're averaging 68 points per game. You know, they're giving out just about that much to their opponents. But this team has the 5 or 6 guys that they're going to play, and they're going to be able to put the ball in the hoop.
Full timeout on the court. We'll take one with them. Back in a minute on IndianaSRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest, uniformed, Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College hunks hauling junk and moving.
Out of the timeout here at GCA with Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling. International School leading the Cougars by 4 points here with less than 4 minutes to go in this first half. After GCA took a timeout here, as International School has proven a thorn in the side of the Cougars here over the last 6 minutes or so. Cage McCorkle leaves it up top for Davis. Just from the elbow, blocked there by Barantes, and it gets into the hands of Jackson. And Jackson kicking it back outside. 3-ball on the way, doesn't fall for Michel Barantes. But a long pass, and going for the dunk is Davis. He doesn't convert that. But Shoemaker able to clean things up. That's Blake Shoemaker.
Boy, nice defense on the one end from Barantes, affecting the shot. He gets his shot partially blocked on the other end, so good defense on both sides by both teams. And
there's a nifty pass from Jackson to find the wide open Jeremiah Pickens.
Jackson has been so good at that. 3-ball goes down for Shoemaker.
And so a big swath of scoring by both teams here. And you said it before the break, these two teams, they're very offensively oriented. I mean, International School averaging 68 a contest. Greenwood Christian Academy, though, averaging 10 points less than that.
They're going to have to kind of play at that pace of International. You know, GCA coming out and getting the lead first off.
And there's a pass that goes awry, and uncontested goes Styles McCorkle. He slams it home.
Impressive two-handed flush from McCorkle.
Of course, McCorkle standing 6'4", averaging 20 points a contest.
Well, yeah, the 10-point difference as far as scoring between these two teams, you know, we expected GCA kind of, you know, they got off to that lead. We thought maybe they had potential to let this one get away, but International, their ability to score, GCA is going to have to, you know, stick to that tempo that International plays at.
McCorkle tries a three from up top. The younger McCorkle doesn't go, but he gets the pass back. He goes inside, gets the foul, and they are going to say that was on the floor, so it is a 2-shot foul. They are not going to count the subsequent shot, but either way, that was a nifty play there by the younger McCorkle to draw the foul.
You know what, Kurt? They may have counted that shot. That referee, he made it look like that shot was counted.
And we'll see what they
Yeah, by the looks of it, these guys are ready to box out on this rebound.
Looks like they counted the basket, so he converted the shot. So a nifty play there by Cage McCorkle to get the and one opportunity. Because it looked like the official put two fingers up as if it was a 2-shot foul.
Real nifty shot to go down. On the left side, put it up with the right hand.
And that makes the lead back to 4 points here after International School had led by as many as 4 points. And we're inside a minute now.
7 points off the bench for Cage McCorkle as well.
And now International content to let some time wind down here.
Well, we're not used to this. We're not used to the team slowing down the pace like this.
Playing that hold-up style basketball now and waiting for their opportunity as McCorkle starts to put pressure here on Jackson.
I like that move by Coach Marlin. Put a 6'4" guy with some length out on top, trying to disrupt Jackson the best way he can.
And LaBelle kicks it back up to Jackson. And International milking the clock for all it's worth now as they now start to run a play. Jackson loses the handle on it, though. LaBelle gets it back over the shot pass outside. Nothing going there, and time expires, and they're going to get a foul before time expired, though, it appears, to put Pickens at the line.
Nice job boxing out by Pickens, and GCA over the back on him. I think Cage McCorkle, I think, was the one to pick up that one.
And so this is a personal foul. This is not technical foul shots, but by rule, when the quarter ends, you do not have any players on the court for quarter-ending foul shots. So you have Pickens at the line for 2 free throws, and he rims the front of the iron there, but he has another one coming. There's Pickens, only 4 points tonight. A pair of field goals and a pair of quarters.
But a pretty meaningful 4 points. The balance has been really well balanced between the Griffins. 6 different guys in the box score.
And Pickens able to convert at least one to make it a 3-point deficit going into halftime. The second quarter brought to you by College Hunks and Movers. It's also brought to you by Bertner Electric. We do more than service repairs. We also wire new homes all around the Indianapolis area. You can ask your builder to use Bertner Electric Incorporated when you build a new home. Get free estimates at 317-565-7779. Bertner Electric, a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast on IndianaSRN. So, Jarrett Lewis, a quick summation of that first quarter, because, Greenwood Christian Academy, they're a competitive team, number 15 in Class 1A. They've really had their hands full tonight with the Griffins of International.
The shooting started off really hot for the Cougars. I mean, every 3-point shot going down after a 3-point shot, and you had guys like Styles McCorkle, who had a really impressive first quarter, 10 points in that quarter. Stinnett knocked down a 3. Zane Shoemaker with a 3. Thompson, that would be Camden Thompson, he had 2 threes. So we're talking 6 threes in that first quarter total, and then after that they only had 1 in the second quarter. So, maybe International had figured out, this is a pretty good 3-point shooting team. We should close out on them properly, try to contest their shots the best way we can so they're not getting wide open good looks. And, the defense of the Griffins really picked up in that second quarter. Greenwood Christian, I guess, in a sort of way, kind of got away from the 3-ball. They were looking to attack the basket a little bit more. McCorkle, both McCorkles actually. The younger one had a pretty impressive second quarter. That would be Cage McCorkle. So, they kind of got away from the 3-point shot, but still staying aggressive, sticking to what they're doing, playing good team offense. Both teams are playing really well. With the 5 guys on the floor, they're playing good, solid team offense. The tempo has picked up a little bit. Not sure who, has that favor if the speed picks up, but International sticking around with Greenwood Christian after the Cougars got off to a pretty decent lead in that first quarter.
Pioneer Conference basketball action here at Greenwood Christian Academy. You are watching IndianaSRN. Halftime coming up next. Second half coming up after that.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
I'm I'm Sean Branch, and I am entering my 6th year of teaching 6th grade Math, Science, Bible here at Greenwood Christian Academy. I think every teacher in the world wants to have an impactful relationship with each of his or her students. Here at GCA, I get to know these kids. I get to have an impact on their lives because I know what they're interested in, I know what they're passionate about, I understand what they're dealing with and where they're coming from. I've had relationships and communications with their parents, and so I'm able to speak life into them in and out of the classroom, which is a real blessing. As a former student athlete myself, I never thought I would be able to use that part of my journey to impact so many people's lives. But now here at GCA as a coach, I can take my knowledge of sport and use it as a ministry to help these young people.
Learn the story.
Love the story.
Live the story.
Hi, my name is Chris Cross, and for the last 6 years I have taught elementary at GCA, and I'm currently transitioning into an administrative role. 4th grade students are often struggling with who they are and how they relate to others. Being an elementary teacher, I have been able to speak God's truth into the lives of students just in an everyday manner. Just for example of tattling or gossiping and going into God's Word and saying, how does this word, God's Word, speak into this relationship? How do we use it? What do we do? And the greatest thing is that I've seen those kids take those pieces of information, put them into practice, and also teach their other fellow students. Out at recess, I've heard them say, well, what do you think God would say about this? And to me, that's the greatest thing that can happen here.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Halftime about to come to a conclusion here at Greenwood Christian Academy. With Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling. It is a 3-point advantage for the Cougars over the Griffins of International School of Indianapolis, and it has been quite a tight game here between these two teams, surprisingly. Coming into this ball game, we talked about how Greenwood Christian Academy, they're on a roll. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. International School, they've only been able to win 4 of 5 in their entire season so far, of course, dealing with COVID restrictions and of course, protocols and stuff like that. They've only been able to play 9 games. International School is really putting together a really good game here against the Cougars.
The thing about all that outside noise, I guess you could say, the fact that International has only played 9 games and GCA, they've dealt with a little bit of COVID issues as well. It's like once you get on the basketball court, none of that matters. International hasn't been playing like they've only had 9 games this season. They haven't been playing like they've had multiple games get postponed, and they're playing like they're trying to win their first conference matchup in this Pioneer academic athletic conference between these two teams. GCA got off to a really hot start. The three-point shooting was spectacular. 6 made threes in that first quarter. International responded. Second quarter was much better. International won that quarter just by 2 points, so they're really keeping it close. This is setting up for a really high-scoring game, which I think plays in International's favor because they are a team that tends to score the basketball just a little bit more.
And it's amazing how they're averaging 68 points a contest, but the fact of the matter is they've only won 4 games this season. They play a tough schedule, of course. They have Indianapolis, Heron, Tinley, Lutheran, all really, really good 1A schools. It's just a matter of the fact that they just really have not gotten lucky this season. We talk about that point an awful lot, but International really kind of showing who they're made of here against this GCA squad. But now if you're GCA, you got to make sure you're playing the game that you want to play as well.
Right, and Styles McCorkle, I think, was a big focal point of the game they wanted to play. He started off hot with 10 points in that first quarter, just 2 in the second quarter. And, the good thing about him is his game is real dynamic. He's going to score inside. He's going to score outside. So look to him to have the basketball a lot in this second half, as well as Isaiah Davis. Look to see him get more involved.
And there is Jeremiah Pickens, who definitely they're going to want to see get a lot more involved. He had 5 points in the first quarter, or in the first half, excuse me. But there is a responding three-pointer there by Styles McCorkle, pushing his total to 15 points.
On cue, GCA gets one pass in their entire possession. It lasts about 5 seconds, and McCorkle again buries another three-pointer.
And Thomas with a no-look pass trying to find Pickens. Instead, it gets into the hands of LaBelle, who clanks off the front of the iron there, and the rebound into the hands of GCA. Stinnett, long pass into the corner, 3-ball on the way. No good there from Shoemaker, but there is Davis to clean things up.
And there is Davis getting involved early. He didn't start this basketball game. Coach Marlin putting all 5 of his seniors out on the floor to begin with, but Davis didn't score at all in that first half.
And so he finally gets his first bucket there, as there's a scrum for the ball there, and it is going to be Greenwood basketball off of the possession arrow.
Davis becomes the 7th different scorer for GCA. For International, they've only played 6 guys. Coach Adams putting his best 6 out there, and all 6 of them have been able to score as well.
9 points apiece now for Jaden Thomas and Javier Turlobel, who have really been physical inside. That just seems to be the name of the game right now for International, is just playing physically inside, and GCA hasn't exactly been able to match that down the stretch. Stinnett holds the ball up top, back outside to McCorkle. And now he holds the ball, calling for a screen of some sort, and nobody's helping him for now, as finally he gets it inside. McCorkle goes, and he kicks it back outside. Stinnett moves like a running back right inside, and then he loses the handle on it, and a turnover back to International.
Real good defensive stand there from International. McCorkle looking to make something happen, opts for a screen up top. Good help side defense from the Griffins. They try to get it into the corner. Good closeout. All in all, good defense covering the entire half court.
Pickens going one-on-one with Davis. Spins inside. Can't get the hook shot to fall. Quick on the other side. Shoemaker outside to the other Shoemaker, and he buries a 3. The younger Blake Shoemaker gets it to go.
A couple of the brothers have been able to tandem together on a few occasions right there. The Shoemakers doing some damage. Another 3 goes down for Blake.
Of course, Blake Shoemaker, standing 6'2", a sophomore, averaging 8 points a contest. One of the up-and-coming players for this GCA squad. Pickens, spin move inside, fakes it out, and gets it to go. A nifty move by the big man.
Good on his feet is the big fella.
And now he has 9 points. He ties as the leading scorer now for International, along with Thomas and LaBelle. And there is a reach-in foul by LaBelle. That'll be his first, and the first of the half by either team.
Not very many fouls called at all. First half only had 3 separate trips between 3 different players to the free throw line. So pretty clean game defensively. The referees want to see the teams put some points up offensively.
McCorkle from the elbow. That's a little strong. And the rebound into the hands of Jaden Thomas. Approaching the halfway mark of this third quarter. And International definitely not losing any enthusiasm here as a reverse shot hangs on the rim, doesn't go, but there is Pickens for the putback. And the big man now has 6 quick points for International in this quarter alone. But right on the other side, a finger roll falls for McCorkle.
Styles McCorkle has been the guy when it comes to getting a quick bucket, because International will score on the other end, and within a blink of an eye, he already has the basketball going to the bucket or putting down a 3.
And Jackson gets his pocket picked there at the foul stripe, as does Stinnett. He loses the handle on it. It gets into the hands of Davis, and McCorkle fakes out Thomas for an easy lay-in off the glass.
Really good shot fake there by McCorkle, able to get Thomas up in the air.
And Jaden Thomas gets nifty on his own, though. Puts it back right there for his first 2 points of the ball game in this second half.
Thomas and Jackson did a really nice job in that first half of showing off their speed, their quickness, beating guys off the dribble and getting to the bucket.
And things getting a little physical there as Isaiah Davis going to pick up a foul. As you see McCorkle here coming up with this nifty move inside.
Yeah, he got that basketball, able to beat Barantis with his first move. And that last foul called on Thomas. Coach Adams doesn't really have anybody on his team that can match up well with Davis at 6'9", and Thomas now, ever since the second quarter, has had his hands full with him.
So they call that foul on Jaden Thomas, so it's GCA basketball. And Davis takes the inbound. Shoemaker back inside. And McCorkle holding it. Davis back outside to the younger McCorkle, and he can't get that shot to fall. And now we have a whistle and a timeout. Taken, a 30-second timeout taken by International School of Indianapolis. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Chimney Solutions. Look no further than Chimney Solutions, Indiana. Since our very first customer, we've been committed to delivering the highest level of customer care in the most professional and reliable chimney and fireplace services. Our technicians are expertly trained and certified by the Chimney Safety Institute of America. So there's no aspect of a chimney or fireplace service, installation, repair, or troubleshooting that we can't help you with. Give us a call at 317-757-6979. Chimney Solutions, a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast on IndianaSRN. So out of the timeout now, it's a 7-point ball game in favor of Greenwood Christian Academy. The largest lead tonight has been as many as 10 points, but that was earlier in the first quarter. And look at that no-look pass right down there underneath to Philip Randolph. He was completely unchecked.
Good recognition by Randolph, even a better pass.
But McCorkle answers with an uncontested 3 of his own.
Just as we're talking about the other team, the other team is quick to score on the other end. And it's usually been GCA, the one to get it down the floor in a hurry and put up a shot.
When you noticed earlier in the first half, it was International School who was really running and making sure they had a lot of urgency. GCA has really kind of adopted a little bit of that, and they've really been able to get back in transition after big scoring plays.
Yeah, there's been too many instances, I think, from the Griffins where they're kind of getting back lackadaisically. They're not trying to find the shooters. They're not getting to their spots, and GCA has been able to kind of take advantage of that.
Styles McCorkle leaves it for Cage McCorkle, and back to McCorkle again. Styles McCorkle off the front of the iron, nothing there.
Still really good offense there from GCA. Most, if not all, the guys able to touch the basketball. A lot of cutting, a lot of movement. And you get a good look, and your best shooter on the floor with McCorkle.
Jackson kicks it back outside to Randolph. And LaBelle will pull up from the corner. Jackson comes away with the offensive rebound. He kicks it back outside. This time it's Barantis for 3. Nothing there. Another opportunity for International. And Barantis is fouled from behind.
Too many opportunities given to International there from GCA. Nobody electing to box out. Coach Marlin is probably yelling at his guys about that. That's too many chances. You're not going to be a successful basketball team down the road. And, as you get later down the road in the season, these games start to matter. Every possession matters. You want to be able to have a one and out, in a sense. One shot up from the opponent, get that box out, get that rebound.
Cage McCorkle picks up his first foul on that set, so he will be checking out of the ball game. And now we will be seeing Ian Reed for the first time tonight, the 5'9" sophomore. And Barantis goes 2 for 2 from the foul stripe on that trip.
Ian Reed, I think, in relation to Izzy Reed.
And Reed knocking it down right out of the gate off of the bench. And that is now 6 different players to score for Greenwood Christian Academy this evening.
Another player on cue, as we just talk about. I mean, they must be listening.
Pickens tries to go one-on-one there with Davis, and that shot just a little short. McCorkle, Euro step inside. And Reed tries again. This time he's off the mark. Less than a minute and a half to go. Jackson right down the middle of the lane, and he hits it.
Boy, he's so shifty, so explosive. Jackson is really fun to watch. Able to split the defense from GCA there.
International School not going away. Behind the pack pass to Reed. Give the assist to Styles McCorkle.
3 possessions that Ian Reed has been in. He's put up 3 3-pointers and he's made 2 of them. That's you know, you're almost batting 1,000 right there with the amount of time you're in.
It is now back to a 10-point advantage as McCorkle blocks the 3-point shot there from Thomas. Take a look at this again. Behind the back and wide open is Reed.
And Thomas, who's on the other side of the floor for International, is too late getting over there. And he's kind of hesitant to get out on Reed because he knows that he might put up the shot, he might not. But now they know that they have to hedge out at him.
Barantis dribbles off of his foot, leaves it for Stinnett, who takes advantage of an easy lay-in.
It's going to be a crucial 30 seconds here from International. Would love to get another shot to go down before you go into the final quarter, because now GCA, they have a lot of momentum. They've been able to turn some steals and make some quick possessions turn into points.
This is now the largest lead of the ball game by either team. At 12 points, as Jackson nearly loses the handle. He has to pick up his dribble, has to get rid of it. He has to fire the shot up at the buzzer, and it does not fall. And that third quarter comes to an end, brought to you by Piper Logistics. Back in a minute on IndianaSRN.
You got a broken door, trapped car, you can't buy time.
We take it very seriously and take pride in being responsive.
We have all of Central Indiana covered, from Martinsville,
Avon, up to Anderson,
to Cicero.
There's always somebody in your area.
It's important that we're able to get there, same day, because people's time is valuable.
On our trucks, we carry just about everything we need to fix a garage door right then and there.
Sunshine, rain, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Fourth quarter action now, brought to you by your IHSAA, the IHSAA Sportsmanship Program. We want to thank you for our fans for their continued commitment to promote good sportsmanship. Remember, the folks in black and white shirts are doing this job for our student athletes. Please be respectful, and we also thank you for your cooperation. With Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling. And it is now a 12-point advantage for GCA, who really went on a tear in the latter 4 minutes of that third quarter.
They won that third quarter 23-14, and they got back to doing what they do best, and that's putting up three-point shots and knocking them down. Styles McCorkle, one of them doing the most damage.
And Thomas trying to stop the bleeding there out of the gate, unable to get that shot to fall on that opening possession for International. But look at Evan Stinnett kicking it back outside to McCorkle, who nails another three-pointer. Styles McCorkle, 22 points on the night.
4 3-pointers for Styles. They had 6 total as a team in the first quarter, 5 in that third quarter, and they're picking up right where they left off.
Of course, Styles McCorkle with a nifty assist to Ian Reed earlier in the third quarter with a heck of a play there as Reed knocks the ball on, but that's going to be stolen away by Michelle Barrantes. Quick underneath to LaBelle, and he can't convert, but he gets right there to put it back, contesting the offensive board.
Nice job by LaBelle, sticking with the play, keeping his effort, keeping that possession alive.
So that cuts it back to a 13-point ball game as we are now inside of 7 minutes remaining in this contest. 3 players in double figures tonight for International, each of them with 11 points in Thomas, LaBelle, and Randolph as we get a foul there at midcourt. Right now it's going to be a timeout called. It's a full timeout taken on the floor. We'll take one with them. Back in a minute on IndianaSRN.
More fixing, more finding, more being original. Unique like this, trendy like that. More designing this, arranging that. More saving, and then more making it happen. More of your space looking like this, and more of you feeling like that. More excitement, more savings, more furniture, more rugs, more flooring. More affordable luxury from RG Decor.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Right back to the action here on IndianaSRN with Jarrett Lewis. I'm Kurt Darling. And Philip Randolph loses the handle, but LaBelle spins the corner, draws the foul there, and it's going to be an offensive foul, rather, on International. And so that'll be foul number 2 for LaBelle.
Must be really nice as a coach to have a guy like Styles McCorkle play so hard for you on both ends of the floor. He's leading all scorers right now with 22. He's scoring from everywhere, and then on the defensive side, playing down low, playing where you're bumping and bruising with other guys, and he's able to take the charge.
So it's a 13-point advantage, but that 13-point ball game is nowhere near indicative of how close this game has actually been. International School has actually led a couple times by as many as 4 points in that second quarter, but GCA has really just been able to keep their composure and pour it on here, especially over the latter half of that third quarter, and of course spilling over now into this fourth quarter. They're really looking to just now try and close this thing out.
Yeah, the game feels a lot closer than it is, but that third quarter was a really big one for the Cougars, taking it. They scored 23 to International's 14, and they got back to what they did best, and that was shooting the free ball.
And Jackson saves a lot of that time, but then turns it over, but then LaBelle picks it right back up, and then they turn it over yet again as Jackson is unable to handle the pass just inside here as we take a look at McCorkle again here with this another big 3 before the timeout.
And even with Jackson closing out hard, McCorkle surely sees that in the corner of his eye, but that doesn't falter him. He's still going to rise up, catch and shoot. Such a pretty release does Styles McCorkle have.
And now McCorkle kicking it up top to Davis, and he's unable to connect there. But getting down low is McCorkle again contesting for the offensive board, and he draws a foul on International.
How about the chemistry there between 3 guys? It was Davis, McCorkle, and I believe Reed. Somebody tipped it out to the top. It may have been Sinnett, but Sinnett quickly gets the ball over to Davis at the elbow, who quickly dumps it down to McCorkle. Davis sees that McCorkle has a favorable matchup down low. He's going to be much stronger, and he's able to make that move and draw the foul.
Shell Barrantes picks up his first foul there on that transition shot, as you now have McCorkle hitting 2 free throws, extending it now back out to a 15-point advantage. Jackson, wide open underneath. Thomas loses the handle on it after he had a wide open shot underneath the basket. That just seems like bad luck right there.
Thomas didn't know what to make of that. Just slips right through his hands. Would love to have the one back. A pretty find.
Stifling defense there by Pickens. As LaBelle comes in transition, he has to leave it now for Pickens up top. Right down the lane, Jackson. Nifty shot underneath, gets that to fall.
I was not expecting Jackson to put that up on the right side of the backboard. I was expecting it to be on the left, but he gets it to go up and under.
Jamire Jackson now has 9 points, second leading scorer on this international squad, behind 3 other players with 11 points, as Davis just can't get the shot to go after 3 times, and Jackson comes away with it. He leaves it now for Thomas, who gets the shot. And are they going to count that, or is it a blocking foul on the floor?
I think they're going to count it.
And the cat basket is good.
What a sequence that was, because International gets super lucky on the defensive side. Davis can't make make 2 separate shots. So you watch out this nifty. Oh, look at that move by Jackson. That is impressive. But man, International, this could be a 4-point swing right now. It's going to end up being a 3-point swing because Davis misses 2 shots on one end, and then they're able to get the and one opportunity on the offensive side.
And now it's back to an 11-point ball game. And International has shown some tenacity in this contest to not get too flustered whenever they get punched in the mouth by GCA. And there you go right there as Thomas on, but they're going to get him for a hand check going for that steal. And so that's now 3 fouls on Jaden Thomas.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it in the first half. Not very many whistles called at all by the referees. Not very many fouls, and we're halfway through this 4th quarter and not really close to the 1 in bonus for either team.
Stinnett up top to Davis. He feeds McCorkle inside. He's double teamed, splits the defenders, but can't finish. And McCorkle is on the ground now. Looks like he may have hit his head as both players were sailing out of bounds. Looks like we have a foul call here, as McCorkle being tended to. Looks like he's going to be okay. It's a foul on International School. That's on Jaden Thomas. Again, he now has 4 fouls. And so Jaden Thomas, statistically your best player this game so far, with 4 fouls with about 3 minutes to go. Not exactly the ideal situation if you're head coach Scott Adams.
That's a big 4th foul because it came right after he picked up his 3rd foul. So now he's going to have to be playing extra careful, and at a time where you have not very much time to work with down 11, he's a guy that you're going to need in your starting 5.
So Styles McCorkle will take a seat here as he gets a look from the training staff. And we get the younger McCorkle and Cage McCorkle checking back into the ball game, who has had a good night in his own right. He has 10 points off the bench. And it's a 30-second timeout called on the floor. Once again, tonight's broadcast, of course, is here on IndianaSRN and is also brought to you by Officially Human. Our foundational goal is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and courts as well. Please check out the website at officiallyhuman.com. And Officially Human, a proud supporter of tonight's broadcast on IndianaSRN. So you get Davis and McCorkle, the younger McCorkle, now in the lineup. And you also see Blake Shoemaker check back in as well. So going a little young here are the Cougars of GCA.
I think Styles, after hitting the floor, he probably won't be on the bench for very much longer. And especially if International's able to get it down below a 10-point deficit.
Shoemaker inside to Davis. Playing a little pitch and catch now are the Cougars as Shoemaker drives inside, and it gets tipped out of bounds. And they're going to say it was off of GCA. No, the other official comes in and overrules the baseline judge, and it will be GCA basketball.
Yeah, I think the referee, he had the right idea, said it was off International, just pointed the wrong way.
And Shoemaker's shot I don't know where that one was going, but it went behind the backboard, and so that goes out of bounds and back to International.
Ball disappeared for half a second.
Saving time there is Jackson as he fakes the three-pointer and now has Randolph. Jackson on the elbow. Look at that cut inside there by LaBelle.
Great find by Jackson. He knew where LaBelle was going to be once he made that dribble move.
And now it's back to a 9-point ball game. Jackson, 2-on-1, splits the defenders, can't get the shot to fall, but LaBelle is right there to gather the offensive rebound. And International School will now have a fresh offensive set.
You'd love to have points here if you're the Griffins, especially coming off a turnover from GCA.
Inside 3 minutes now. Randolph. Back to Jackson. LaBelle from the elbow underneath. Randolph has Pickens. He splits the defenders inside, waits, gets blocked from behind, tries again, gets the shot to fall. They're going to call him for traveling before it does, though.
Almost ended up being a really good move by Pickens, and great passing from International. They've done a really nice job of making backdoor cuts, making cuts towards the basket. And the guard play of Jackson and Thomas, they've been able to find those guys making the cuts. Unfortunately, Pickens, a little antsy on his feet. The big fella's been good, keeping his pivot foot, being really good at his feet. He's been really good inside the lane when he's had the basketball.
And now you have Styles McCorkle back into the ball game. Of course, McCorkle wiping up some sweat there, getting some encouragement from the ladies of the GCA Lady Cougars there. Of course, they're having a heck of a season as well. They open sectional play tomorrow night. And you can also catch that game right here on IndianaSRN.
I believe they're going up against Tinley tomorrow. And that's a scary team, the GCA girls. They are going to be a tough team to put away in sectional play and then thereafter.
Inside 2 minutes now. GCA just has to milk some clock now, as the clock is their friend in this situation, but there's a turnover. Jackson one-on-one onto McCorkle, and he draws a foul on McCorkle.
We've been so impressed with the play offensively from Jackson, but defensively, he's had a couple steals to his credit as well. Just really good at kind of eyeing the man with the ball, able to jump towards that pass and at least get a hand on it.
And Jackson knocks down the free throw there. He's 2 for 2 in that regard tonight. And you mentioned earlier how not a whole lot of fouls called tonight, but it's been a pretty physical game in spite of that.
It has been, and whether it's been a fast break or whether it's been one of the 5 men for both teams down low getting a touch with the basketball, there's been some contested shots at the rim.
7-point ball game as Pickens appears to be picking up a foul here. That'll be his first. But that's now the 7th team foul on International School, which puts Stinnett and the GCA Cougars in the 1-and-1 bonus. And Stinnett able to connect on both. 90 seconds remaining in the ball game. Long three from Jackson is a little strong, and contesting for the rebound there is Pickens. They're probably going to ding him for another foul.
And even if this game ends up being a loss for International, that's a bright spot going forward, is the play of Pickens. He's been able to contribute offensively. He's in double figures with 11, but also just the 2 fouls to his credit. So it could be a much different ball game if he doesn't get to play the amount of minutes that he's been able to, because he's played a clean ball game with just the 2 fouls.
1-and-1 doesn't go. And Jackson can't convert again as time continues to wind down. And now Michel Barantes picks up his second foul as International School is in foul mode to try and conserve as much time as possible. Still a 9-point ball game, not incredibly insurmountable, but nonetheless, International's opportunities are winding down, so if you're going to have opportunities to get shots, you want to make sure they count.
Yeah, never say never, because you never know when you can have a Wizards-Nets happening like you did, what was that, last night or 2 nights ago?
A couple nights ago, yeah, where they were just getting in the right shots and they were hitting everything down the stretch.
I believe the Nets were up 5 or 6, and the Wizards had put together 8 points in 8 seconds.
Randolph can't convert, but it's tipped out of bounds. It stays with International. Another thing I noticed here on my stat sheet here, Jared, is the fact that Isaiah Davis has only been held to 4 points tonight by this International squad. He's a player that averages about 13 a contest. His season high is 25 points against Shortridge earlier this season.
He's the second leading scorer on this Cougars team, and you'd like that with International, able to keep him in check, especially at his height. You know, there's not really somebody that matches up well against him. So they've done a nice job of keeping him under control, but that just goes to show how great the play of his teammates has been. Plenty of guys have been able to contribute. I'm thinking they have 8 different scorers, and that box score does GCA, with Stinnett being one of them.
And he misses the front end of these 2 shots now as GCA is in the double bonus. But he converts the bladder half as a timeout is called by International School. It appears it is a full timeout. We'll take a break with them. Closing seconds coming up next on IndianaSRN.
Cold is just around the corner, and here at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling,
we're ready for anything.
we care about our craft like we care about our customers. Our technicians are fully certified
And up to speed on the latest equipment.
available 24/7. We don't leave anybody in the cold. That's our top priority.
We don't just work for the company.
We are the company.
So we do the best we can for every one of our customers.
Trust the name you know at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers. Summers.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Only a few seconds left here in this ball game here. It's a 12-point advantage for Greenwood Christian Academy. As there's a big shot from Michel Barantes. He now has 8 points to his credit with that shot. And another full timeout taken here as teams start to burn off their timeouts with 33 seconds left in this broadcast. Of course, tonight's game brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is your local full-service John Deere dealer. Browse our selection online or come in and test drive. Get in a yellow seat today and equipment built to last, and also you can save big. Visit us at 12501 Reynolds Drive in Fishers, or you can give us a call at 317-849-0810. Reynolds Farm Equipment, a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast on IndianaSRN. So 33 seconds left here as Greenwood Christian Academy tries to move to 10-5 on the season. And keep in mind, this is a GCA squad that's really come into their own over the last few weeks or so. They've won 6 of their last 7. As the inbound gets tipped out of bounds by International, it stays with GCA. This would be a heck of a win streak now. They will have won 5 in a row if this result holds true to the end of the ball game. This would also be Greenwood Christian Academy's 15th win against International School in the last 35 years. As we now have a foul coming up on International. As you get LaBelle picking up his 4th.
Kind of a similar game last year between these two teams. The Cougars able to get the best of International, a 16-point win for them last February. Actually, 2 days ago from today last year. But International played much better game this year. This game was close for most of the part. And really, guys like Jackson and Pickens have tried their best, played pretty good basketball to try to keep their team in it.
International has not beaten GCA. As you see, LaBelle get an extra 2 points there, but International has not beaten GCA since February 25th of 2010. And since then, International has lost 13 straight games to GCA, a couple of which have happened in the postseason.
Which is funny because the last 20 games they've played, International has been able to get off 6 wins in that 20-game span. So, of late, GCA has looked really impressive against International.
And Caden Thompson going 1 for 4 here down the stretch as Jackson gets his pocket pick. This time Thompson ensuring that he gets in the scores column there with a field goal. And that will do it. That brings us to the final score of 72-62. Greenwood Christian Academy has to grind out a win against a tough International squad who led a couple times in this ball game, but nonetheless, GCA able to corral their 10th win of the season off of a big performance tonight from Styles McCorkle, who finishes, by my count, with 24 points.
Really impressive game from Styles. That's what we expected. He's averaging 22 coming into this one. 28% from three-point range, although he was well better than that here tonight, draining 4 three-pointers. And kind of a three-point barrage from this GCA squad, a team that doesn't necessarily struggle to score the basketball at all. They're averaging 58 points a game, but we were not expecting them to kind of put off the little showcase that they did here today. They got off to a really nice start in the first quarter with three-point shooting. It came back hot again in the third and a little bit in the fourth quarter. So you see a nice move there from McCorkle. Just a really nice, complete game. A fun player to watch is Styles McCorkle. And kind of a dynamic guy that'll be able to hand off passes like that to Reed, who in the short amount of time that he played was able to drain 2 three-pointers of his own.
And so you have McCorkle finishing the night with 24 points, and also, but the younger McCorkle, Cage McCorkle, he had 10 points of his own coming off the bench. Then you also had the Shoemakers combining for 11 points each. You had Blake Shoemaker with 8 points to his credit. And then Evan Stinnett as well, with a solid night of 8 points here on the senior night. A big senior night win for GCA as they now have won 5 in a row. And they next up have Indianapolis Metropolitan. That will be coming up on February 5th. That tip-off here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You can also catch International. They only have 3 scheduled events left on their schedule. 2 regular season games. They have Park Tudor coming up on February 4th before they go into the Pioneer Conference playoffs on February 13th. Both of these teams will be taking part in that event on February 13th.
This International team can take a lot away from this game going into that Pioneer Conference playoff tournament that they're going to do in 2 weeks. And really, this is a conference that's not necessarily wide open. There's no real clear-cut favorite, but there's a lot of good teams in this conference, and International definitely being one of them. Of course, Greenwood Christian. You have University, who is 9-4. Liberty Christian is 10-6. Those 2 teams are in the North Division, and then in the South, you have GCA, you have International, you have a 500 team in Park Tudor, which is who International is going to face off with again. That's going to be their next game. And then Bethesda Christian, who's also 9-4. So really good teams are in this Pioneer Conference. both of these squads right here have the ability to go far in that conference tournament, and maybe one of them might end up winning it.
Definitely. Final score once again here at Greenwood Christian Academy, 72-62. The Cougars get the win over the Griffins of International School. Jarrett Lewis, once again, a pleasure as always.
Hey, pleasure's all mine. We got another good one between these two squads. Best of luck to these two the rest of the way, and I think me and you might have another game together coming up pretty soon. We got a full slate of games, I believe, this week here on IndianaSRN. 20 more games to finish out up until Saturday, so make sure you tune in to all of those. YouTube, follow us on Twitter. Just, connect with us any way you can, and you'll be notified of all those games, and make sure you check them out when you can.
And unlike most broadcasters, our funding comes primarily from donations and school subscriptions. Help us to put more kids on TV by contacting us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. You're just one hit away to the donate button on our website as well at IndianaSRN.org, where you're always in the game. Once again, thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Final score 72-62. Greenwood Christian gets the win. For all of us here at IndianaSRN, for Jerry Collins, our on-site engineer, and of course, Jarrett Lewis, and of course, myself, Kurt Darling, saying so long till next time. You have been watching Pioneer Conference Basketball on IndianaSRN. So long, everybody.